racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit robbery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit what's that shit called that be coming down? The bullshit animals and scorpions outside the house, it's big ass spiders, it's big ass lizards, colorful lizards you ain't never seen before, all in the fucking room with you, sleeping with you. All the bullshit people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich, so they trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this shit. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below. Because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be. And I'm going to go out to Africa and make shit happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my business back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office and all the stuff that I was going to do out here in America. Steady electricity. And the only time our electricity get cut off is when we don't pay the bill. And we got it so good now, we got prepaid electricity, so if we forget to pay the bill, we put some money on that prepaid thing and it comes right back on in 2 minutes. In less than 2 minutes. This shit right here didn't come on for 14 hours yesterday. I can't deal. I love the people. Don't get me wrong, when I'm outside, I'm having fun. I love the people, but when I come back to reality, when you come back home, home is with a heart is, right? When you come back home, you're supposed to feel comfortable, you're supposed to be happy. I'm not happy. To live in a house where you look outside and all you see is turkeys and ducks and chickens and sheep and old malnourished cows. We came out here to build Africa. I closed all my businesses down. And of course, I could have stayed in that colonized ass United States of America and dealt with their bullshit.
Now, this is a perfect representation of how truly empowered Black Americans are in America. They are not oppressed in any way, especially in America, because oppressed people do not choose to return to their oppression. But isn't it crazy that white Americans can move to anywhere in Europe and love it there, even poor areas in Europe? But Black Americans will move anywhere in Africa and immediately find a bunch of reasons to hate the place and make problems with the locals. Imagine moving to a beach house and complaining about the nasty sand, or moving into the jungle and complaining about the freaking trees and bushes. Oh, this is just hilarious. It is the entitlement for me. Imagine having this physical appearance and complaining about not getting enough snacks. Don't you love yourself? And also, she mentioned that she is a dentist. Oh my God. I would rather move around with a rotten teeth than allow this woman to touch my mouth. And the audacity of hers.
Many men living in the UK said this same thing. One day, I'll pack my bags and go back to Africa because I know life will be easier there.
If I vanish, I vanish!
But I watched a man do exactly that, and within 6 months, he regretted that decision. Before you leave this country and go back to Africa as a man, there are 4 things you must do first.
Let's have it, let's have it.
Now let me tell you about the man who left and his regrets. He's from Nigeria, so let's call him Tunde. Tunde lived in the UK for almost 12 years. He worked very hard, but at some point he felt that life in the UK was not what he imagined when he first arrived. To him, everything was expensive, work was stressful, and most days he just felt tired.
Talk to me direct, don't go through the corners.
One evening while driving home from work, he said something to himself every man abroad, even you, have said before. You know what? I'm tired of this life. I'm going back home. At least in Africa, I will surely live well. I'll live like a king. That was the day he decided he would leave the UK. 3 months later, he packed his bags and left. But Tunde made 4 mistakes.
Let's have it, let's have it.
The first mistake, he didn't fix his finances. He arrived in Nigeria with big dreams, but not enough money.
Let's be poor. Breathe.
In the UK, nobody really cared about his financial situation. But back home, everyone believed he had returned from abroad with wealth. You know how that goes, right? Family started asking for help. Friends started bringing business ideas. At that point, the pressure became heavier than the life he left behind.
What are you trying to say?
The second mistake, he never told himself the truth about why he was leaving. He said he was going back for peace, but the truth was he was running away from problems. And the thing about problems is, if you don't deal with them, they travel with you. The third mistake, he forgot that living abroad had already changed him and how he thinks. His whole mindset was different now. The way he spoke, the way he thought, the way he saw relationships. Within few months, he was already clashing with people he grew up with because he was no longer the same person they remembered.
I'm not here speaking out.
But the fourth mistake was the one that hurt him the most. Before leaving the UK to Nigeria, he never repaired the relationships that mattered. He assumed some people would always be there waiting for him. No, they were not actually. Let's be honest here. Going back home can be one of the best decisions a man ever makes. But a wise man does not just go back home like that. He prepares himself very well. He actually prepares to land. So before you leave this country and go back to Africa as a man, you must do these 4 things. Fix your finances. Tell yourself the truth about why you're leaving. Reset your mindset and repair the relationships that matter. Because sometimes the life you're running to can become harder than the life you're running from. Now let me ask you something, and please be honest with your answer. If you left the UK tomorrow and went back home, would you actually be ready? Thank you for watching. This is Crown Dad. Like always, we're breaking cycles one step at a time.
Someone on this app just said that the new American dream is to leave. And you know what? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Where are we going?
Where would you like to go? I'll help you pack. I'll even give you a ride to the airport. See, it's always you American who go through life doing this whole poor pity me, not understanding how great you have it here in one of the greatest nations in the world. There are 11.5 million pending application of people who live every single day wishing they are a part of this great nation. 11.5 million people dream to be an American while you American are wishing to be something else. Too dumb to understand what you have in front of you until someone points it out. You have people from a third world country who are dying every single day wishing they can be here in America, but you are too naive to understand that you have something great to live with it to its full potential. They are willing to do that. Swap places. Let's get it going.
My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a viral video of an African-American woman over in Ghana complaining about the conditions of Ghana and how they're nowhere near the standard of the good old US of A. When we're talking about, you got to bribe everybody, it's a lot of scamming going on, the electricity is unreliable and might go out for an entire day. There's just a lot of things over in Ghana that she did not anticipate. Now, before I go any further, shout out to you guys for sending me this. This is a great clip and it's a great teachable moment. And the lesson, before we get to the video, the lesson is whenever you want to go live somewhere or even visit, you need to do your due diligence, do your research, educate yourself, figure out where you're going and what's happening in that particular part of the world. Everywhere is not America. Really, America, the USA, this is it. You're not really going to find much better. I mean, unless you have endless pockets, which is an issue here. And before I go any further, let's get to the actual clip. Of course, if you want to see the clip in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
But y'all, I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit robbery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit what's that shit called that be coming down? The bullshit animals and scorpions outside the house. It's big as spiders, it's big as lizards, colorful lizards you ain't never seen before, all in the room with you, sleeping with you. All the people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich, so they trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below, because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be, and I'm going to go out to Africa and make it happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my businesses back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office, and all the stuff that I was going to do out here in America. Steady electricity, and the only time our electricity get cut off is when we don't pay the bill. And we got it so good now, we got prepaid electricity, so if we forget to pay the bill, we put some money on that prepaid thing and it comes right back on in 2 minutes. In less than 2 minutes. This right here didn't come on for 14 hours yesterday.
I've lived in 5 different countries in Africa. I've lived in Malawi, Botswana, Zambia, Morocco, and Nigeria. I have also travelled extensively in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and Egypt. Never once in all my years of living or travelling on the African continent have I been mistreated in any way because of my ethnicity, because of my skin colour. And this is in spite of the fact that I come from a country who are guilty for some of the worst colonial crimes ever inflicted throughout human history. That's right, I was born in Great Britain. And without doubt, the British and the French committed the greatest atrocities across the continent of Africa. The Belgians have a good claim for the greatest atrocity in their treatment of the Congolese, but if one looks at it as an entity and the number of countries that were invaded by the British and French colonialists, one will see that they are the worst protagonists. Despite this, and despite the behavior of my ancestors, I have never been mistreated. In fact, I have been welcomed warmly in all of the countries I have lived in or visited. And when in Africa, I don't cocoon myself in some enclave dome which is inhabited by people who like to refer to themselves as expats. I hate that term. But no, I integrate as much as possible within local society. I will go to a shebeen. I will go to any compound and experience life as it is for people in the country where I am based. So whether that's in the village, whether it's in the township, whether it's in the local bar, I will integrate, I will mix, and I am always made welcome. Now contrast that with the way many Africans are treated when they choose to live in the United Kingdom or France or other parts of Europe. The difference is incredible. The everyday racism experienced by African people on the European continent is a crime against humanity. Now, there are different types of racism. The most obvious is the day-to-day experience that an African will have whilst living in parts of Europe. The name calling, the staring, the subtle discrimination. And for many Africans, they will just brush it off because it is so common that they just get used to it, sadly. Worse, though, is the institutional and structural racism that Africans have to abide with. The restrictions on their movements, the fact that most passports emulating from the African continent will only allow Africans to travel visa-free to a handful of countries. And most of those will be other African countries or countries in the Caribbean. And moreover, the difficulty that Africans have finding work in Europe is unimaginable. People who are qualified as doctors, accountants, lawyers, university lecturers, nurses, teachers do not have their qualifications and experiences recognized by most European countries. I know many people from Africa working in various parts of Europe as security guards or as care assistants when back home they had highly skilled professional jobs. But that experience is rarely recognized when they come to Europe unless they come as part of a transfer with an existing company. But if they come because they've migrated to Europe, their chances of accessing the sort of job which they are eminently capable of is slim. Now, if a black person was making this video, they would be quickly dismissed. They'd be dismissed as having an axe to grind or always trying to find problems. And again, that's part of racism. The fact that I can speak because of my white privilege means that I have a duty to do so, not because I'm married to an African woman or because I have many African friends, but because I like to think I'm a decent human being who appreciates the value in every person on our planet.
I wouldn't go back. For $100 an hour job, I wouldn't go back. I would not go back at all. Getting up in the morning, doing what you have to do, and rushing to go and punch the clock to make somebody else rich. You get to decide what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it. And us, we work really hard. So it pays off because we're working for ourselves instead of giving all our energy and everything to somebody else to make them rich so they can live a good life. In the U.S., we're kind of groomed to be an employee. You know, work for someone.
Like my friend said, he is in Ohio. He said, I have tried four times and I have to go back.
Really?
Yeah, 4 times. He said, man, I wish I can do it. Everybody wanted to come home. About 90%. Who wanted to get up in the morning and go and clock and, stress? Yeah, no. Everybody wanted to come home, but they're scared that when they get home, the money will get finished and then they have to go back. You know, when you are in overseas, you might think that people like you, family members love you. But when you come here and stay, their attitude is different. Yeah, I think Ghana is expensive. Ghana is not what you think. When you convert the money to dollars, you might think that it's not expensive, but the money runs like river. So when you come and think that Ghana is cheap and you are coming to spend your money, like United States, you can't last. You will go back. Now, I don't think about to become a millionaire. I just want to live my simple life. If I can buy something, whatever I want, I can buy it. I'm okay. I don't want to be a millionaire. No, I don't.
What up, folks? So in this video, we have an African American woman that went to Ghana, hoping that the people would welcome her with open arms. Because the people of Ghana was saying that, they want more African Americans to, come to their homeland and, come back to the motherland. And unfortunately, she found out that, that the people really just saw her as a foreigner. So I just want you to check this out and hear what she has to say about her experience. Here we go.
There are Americans coming over here being nasty, doing nasty things, and being bad to the locals. Now let me flip the script, okay? Let's talk about the fact that we get abused over here too. The thing about Ghana is stop crying victim. Stop crying victim, because y'all cheat us out of a lot of stuff. Y'all invited us to come home, which by the thousands we did. We came running to Ghana. People sold their homes, moved out of their apartments, sold everything. Some people packed up containers and moved over here just to get over here and realize this is not our home. Y'all call us foreigners. Ghanaians call us that. We didn't make that word up. We didn't start calling ourselves that. We don't know that that's what y'all call the white people and the Chinese because we're not around them. But we know that that's what y'all call us. I ain't never heard the word before, Tabby, till I came to Ghana. Okay. Y'all invite us home. Let's talk about what y'all do to us. Starting from the before we get to the airport, we gotta have a visa that we pay for to even enter our home. We pay all this money for passports and visas to get here. We get to the airport, and as soon as you see a blue passport, everybody's coming for us. Can you give me something small at the COVID place? You get to immigration. Can you give me something small? You get to baggage. Can you give me something small? A person grabbed a damn cart and put my bag on it and got mad because I gave him $5 because I only had hundreds, because you come over here with hundreds to get the best, cash flow rate. How about he looked at that and said, I don't want that. I said, what you mean you don't want it? I said, I want to know, what did you expect me to give you? He said, $10. I said, so you want me to give you over 100 CDs for picking up a bag, putting it in a cart? He don't know this is like my 5th time coming through the airport. I have never seen nowhere in any country or state where people have openly, it says $60 for foreigners, $30 for locals, okay? You go to Cocoon Park, and I don't remember the price. Let's say $200 for foreigners, because that's what y'all call us, $40 for locals. You go to the castle, it's $60 for foreigners, $10 for locals. I ain't never seen that nowhere. I ain't never went nowhere in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada where it said you pay, if you a local, if you're from here, you pay $3 for a Coca-Cola, but if you're a foreigner, you pay $8 for a Coca-Cola. I ain't never seen that nowhere. Except Ghana. Nobody in the airport has ever asked me for no money for nothing. I have only seen that in Ghana. But let's talk about the fact that y'all welcomed us home and how this process looks to me. According to y'all, the ones of us that were stolen, so let's talk about the process of coming home. We got stolen from our mother, our birth mother and father. 20 years later, we're probably 26 years old now. Our mother finds us and she said, baby, y'all come home. I miss you. Come back home. Get out them streets where they don't love you at and come home. So we drive, take a taxi, however we get to our mother's address. We get there. But before she let us come through the door, she says, oh, welcome home. But before you come in, can you pay me $300 to enter the door? That's the visa to come home. So, okay, we happy to be home. So we paid $300 to our mother to step foot in her house because we're excited to be home to the motherland, okay? We get in there and now it's dinner time. And she has plates on the table for the kids that grew up in the house. And she has a plate on the table for me and my sister who was stolen years ago. And she says, oh, my daughters, because you didn't grow up here, my children get to eat free that grew up here, but because you were stolen and you're just coming back, I have to charge you $20 for a plate. So me and my sister, we're so happy to be home. We're confused. We pay her $20 for a plate. Okay? That's the cocoon shit. That's y'all giving us different prices for shit. Okay? Now we're at our mother's house and we're enjoying being there. We see something's a little weird, but we enjoy being back home with our mother. We decide we want to stay. And she goes, oh, you want to stay a little longer? You're going to have to pay me $1,000 every year to stay here. That's the residency. Crazy. Now we're paying her for residency, even though she invited us home after we were stolen from her. Okay? Now we pay the residency, and then we decide, you know what, we want to get on the birth certificate. We kind of like it here. It's a little weird, but we comfortable enough to stay here. And she tells us, oh, in order for you to stay here, I have to put my name on your birth certificate. That's going to be $3,000 each, please. And then I will put your name on the birth certificate, and you will become a family member. That's the citizenship. That's the citizenship. So how are we home if we got to pay you? Why aren't the visas free if this is home? Why don't you make this visa free for us? If this is home, why do we have to pay to be a resident? If this is home, why isn't our citizenship automatically given to us?
That's crazy. Seemed like, she's been taken advantage of. just like many other folks that, go there, hearing the news and hoping that they are going to be accepted with open arms and stuff, and coming to find out that they are not even looked at as being the same, It's unfortunately a lot of, and it's not all, but a lot of people, in Africa don't really look at African Americans as the same, no matter the skin color or whatever it may be, they just don't look at us as being one of them, but anywho, just share your thoughts. Feel free to comment and like, share, follow, and y'all be easy.
So at 56, she decided to relocate back to Africa from the UK. What she did was to sell her house in the UK, thinking that by the time she relocates back to Africa, she already has a lot of money in her bank account, which looks very big, thinking that it was going to last her for a very long time. She was fantasizing a very big mansion in Africa, thinking of how she was going to set up her businesses. And you're not going to be thinking of council tax. You're not thinking of exorbitant electricity bills. She's not thinking of all of the expenses that comes with living in the UK. So what she did was she sold her property, went back to Africa, and within 2 years, she spent all the money that she got from selling her properties. First of all, the house she was bidding, if she wasn't there, her materials were missing. You need to look for contractors. You need to start being there, because if you're not there, they will steal your materials. The business she was registering, she thought it would be as easy as that. Unnecessary expenses, health issues. She was getting free healthcare in the UK. Now she has gone back to Africa. She needs to start paying for her medical expenses, medications, and all of that. It started costing her to the extent she regretted relocating back. While she was making that decision, people were saying, wow, she took a very bold decision, not knowing that that decision she took at 58 years is going to cost her so much. Now she's back in the UK. Getting a property at 58 is going to be very difficult, because she has sold the previous one. She has exhausted most of her money, and now she's back to square one. I'm sharing this story because it is a real story. So if you're thinking of going back to Africa, you have lived in diaspora, you have lived in the UK, America, you need to think twice, okay? You need to make sure that you have put things in place, because by the time you go back, do you have any assets that will keep bringing you income? Do you have any income generating assets? Because by the time you leave here, you go back, you're no longer working here. Are you on pension? Will the pension be coming? How are you going to live your life even when you leave the UK? Because you're going back to your previous place where you used to be. It's going to be a different place. The thing you used to know being sold for $1, after living many years, now it might be like $15. So many things have changed. How are you preparing? How are you planning to relocate back to Africa? So that is the story of this lady. She's back in the UK, beginning to struggle from the ground again. Let us not make that mistake. Don't forget to share this video. If you live in the diaspora, begin to plan for your life if you intend to return back to Africa. Cheers.
People always ask me what I miss the most about Africa. And as an African girl who moved to Europe in 2014, which is about 11 years ago, roughly, I think what I miss the most is my innocence. And by that I mean, prior to me moving to Europe, I had no idea that the color of my skin actually mattered to certain people. And I genuinely mean this. I moved to the Netherlands when I was 18 years old. Of course I knew about other races. I knew that the world comprised of people that looked differently than I did. But I never knew about racism. I never knew that this would change the way I see the world forever. I picked it up on little things that people would say, how people would behave, and I just realized, holy shit, this matters to certain people. And that's when I started learning the concept of racism. And honestly, if I could go back and clean my mind, I would. I just wish I never knew that. I wanted to go back to that innocence where I just felt like everybody just loved everybody and nobody ever cared about the color of another person's skin. Because the minute I knew, I kind of put my guard up. So I would also go into spaces expecting that certain people would be uncomfortable, and I would also be defensive and just ready to be moody. And I hate that. I really had this pure innocence of oh, people are just people and we're all just great. And honestly, every single day of my life, wherever I go, I'm thinking in my mind, what are they thinking? This, and that. I wish I could unlearn this. I wish I could just walk around and just be a person and not worry. But unfortunately, being where I am right now, and I travel a lot, but it's just impossible because people will do things, they will say things, there are little microaggressions and things like that that just make it impossible for you to just exist. You have to always be on edge, always wondering, always trying to make people feel comfortable with themselves, and it's not fair. I just wish I could go back in time where I never felt like that, you know? And I think it's really important to be where you are like a majority, because when I was in Gambia, I just saw everybody as the same. Like, I never thought anything about color, obviously because there's not really that many other people that are not black. But at the same time, I will say something about my continent. We are very warm, we're welcoming. I would say that most people who travel to Africa, Europeans, know this. They never feel less than. And that's the saddest part about here, because most times you do end up feeling less than in Europe or in Western countries. So yeah, that's what I miss the most about home. The warmth, the people, the just being, you know, who you are without wondering if you're making anyone feel uncomfortable. Obviously, there's other things like colorism, and we also have our problems. But one thing I would say for sure, especially where I'm from, the Gambia, West Africa, color does not exist. Okay?
I just got back from the continent, from Ghana specifically. And my goodness, did they do a number on us here in these United States. What I experienced there was a connectedness, a current of connectedness. I can't tell you how many parties, how many clubs, how many events we went into, some crowded, some not, some we would walk to the front, some, you know, we weren't. And at no time did another woman size me up. No time did a man bump another man. Oh, my bad, you know, just afraid that it was about to be contentious. No, it's they kind of touch each other like, are you good? Are you trying to pass? That's, you know, let me move out of your way. Just a lack of contention. Is just vibes and music and conversation and beauty and gear and progress and ideas and business exchange and goodness gracious. I understand when I hear rumblings that, you know, Africans may talk about Black or African Americans' way of thinking and just our divisiveness and how we don't get it. And we don't. And what was seeded in us from the journey onward, up until today, keeps us from really recognizing where we come from. And all the things that had to happen for us to be here right now. To really get that, you can't be the same. You can't be the same. You can't have the same contempt for your brother or sister. You can't try to understand why a person is behaving a certain way when that's not how they were built. So much to process. Yeah, that's it for now. But a number was done on us. And all right, bye.
What's going on, y'all? With my brother here. He's visiting from South Africa. And you've been gone how many years?
6 from New York.
So tell us this. How is it being a Black man in South Africa? An African-American man in South Africa?
Okay, well, I'm living my best expat life in Cape Town. I love it there. Things are very affordable for me. My quality of life is extremely high. And I just don't have to worry about a lot of the
got a pool in your backyard.
No, it's great. It's great. Like, I have all of the modern amenities that you would think that might be missing in South Africa, you know. But yeah, like everything's great. You know,
How are South
air is
Africans
clean.
towards Black Americans?
They love us. Yeah. I mean, you know, there's the shared cultural experience of having to navigate white people so close to home in that way. So with their experience of apartheid, they understand a lot of the Afro-American struggle and how we've had to navigate white people. Additionally, there's a lot of cultural exchange, you know, so now Amapiano has spread out to the U.S. as I'm seeing, but you know, Amapiano is also partly derived from house music. So, you know, there's generations of cultural exchange that have going back and forth, and so, you know, they love us. You know, yeah.
How the food?
Currently in a relationship with a South African.
You in a relationship with a South African?
Yeah,
all right, you done got hooked.
Yeah, got hooked. How's the food? I love South African food. So you have various cuisines. You know, here I'm saying here. I still think I'm in Cape Town, y'all. You know, there's a variety of different cuisines. So you have your Indian cuisine, you have your Cape Malay cuisine, you have Nguni cuisines like Hausa food, and I hope that was the right click.
Okay.
If there are any Nguni people listening right now, I hope that was the right click. I tried. I'm getting better at it.
What do you recommend to any African Americans that are looking to move to South Africa? What do they need to do? We got a few seconds here.
Okay, so firstly, what track are you taking to get to South Africa, right? So there are retirement visas available. There are student visas available. Some people do visa runs, but that's not a sustainable option. I suggest that you find a durable, long-term way to come and stay if you want to. But if you even are coming to visit, like, you're going to live beautifully.
When I first got here, the way that people treated me changed the way I think about life. Like I told y'all before, I have anxiety that's very, very bad. Actually, like, I have a crippling anxiety sometimes. So being in a new country after my dogs just got deported, I'm here with my 2 little kids, and, you know, my partner is back in the States, not able to get here just yet. And I still wanted to explore. I didn't want my fear to keep me in the room because I know that I'll let it happen. And then I'll be depressed that my fear kept me in the room and I let anxiety win. So I said, no, we're not going to do that. I'm going to push through and just go out and see something, even though I'm nervous as hell. So I thought, okay, well, if I do a few things by myself, then I'll feel comfortable doing them with the kids. And then, you know, we can continue to do stuff. So the first day that I was there, after I had already done the stuff to help Kenzo get back to the U.S., I decided to go outside. I was staying in the city center area, and it was very intimidating for me because it was extremely fast paced, and I am not used to that. I thought it was going to be a little bit slower, but everybody was out. Everybody was having a great time. There was a lot of noise, a lot of people, a lot of cars, a lot of horns. It was a lot. I'm overstimulated by the time I step out of the hotel door, but I'm determined to make a path so that I can take my kids out so they can see something too, because they're just as excited as everyone else. And they're also extremely bummed that Kenzo's not there with them. They have been so sad to the point to where they were crying at night, like, I just miss Kenzo. I just want to see Kenzo. And I'm like, kids, I know, like, he's coming back soon. Like, you know, they acting like he got deployed or something, but it was difficult for all of us. So I wanted to cheer them up by taking them somewhere. So first thing, I go out and I'm on Long Street. Soon as I go out, I see the doorman for the hotel and I ask him, like, is this a safe area? Is it okay for me to walk around by myself? He was like, yeah, you'll be fine. There's police or security everywhere. You're good. Like, you can go ahead. And I'm like, okay, I still take that with a grain of salt because I got to keep my eyes open, right? Mind you, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, so I don't know what the hell I was scared of, but I was terrified. I went outside and I'm walking down the sidewalk. There's lots of people and everything's going good. I get to like one traffic light away from where I was at. And I was shook. Like, I'm still nervous. I'm surveying the area. I'm trying to figure out where I'm at and make sure that nobody's trying to get me. And by the time I reached the second light, I was terrified. I was about to turn around and go back because I was overstimulated. Nobody was doing anything to me. I was just afraid. I just turned around and started walking back towards where my hotel room was. And my the attendant to that hotel was standing there, and he like waved at me. He was like, "You good?" He just said like, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay," but like he could tell that I was nervous, and he like just with our eyes from 2 lights away from each other, he was like, "You're good. Like, go ahead." I was like, that little gesture meant so much to me. Because it just felt like it's somebody that's kind of looking out for you. You know, I'm out here and it seems like I'm completely by myself. I don't know any of these people. I'm outside by myself. I'm scared as hell just because I'm nervous. And it was one person that was there that I don't know that didn't stand to gain anything from me. And he just let me know like, hey, I'm looking out for you. And it was an older gentleman. He had to be in his like 50s probably. And he just, you know, let me know, like, I'm looking out for you. You can go ahead and explore. You know, staying along this street, I can see all the way down there. And if something was to happen, maybe he would say something, call somebody or whatever the case was. And it just gave me a sense of security to know that at least, you know, my dogs, there is one person that's looking out. And honestly, in a bad situation, you cannot put a price on that. I felt so grateful to just be able to explore freely with somebody that I don't even know that said they're kind of looking out for me. And also, this is the same guy that would go up to every Uber and confirm that the Uber was taking me to the right place and that they had the right passenger and I had the right information for them. And he also did the same thing with my Uber Eats orders. Like, he would make sure that it was, you know, who they said they was, and I wasn't just getting too close to random cars. And I truly, truly, truly appreciated that. And it just gave me faith in humanity again. Shortly after that, Kenzo would return to South Africa and the party would really get started. I'm going to tell y'all that in the next video.
So I log on today and the first thing I see is, I'm thinking of moving to South Africa from an American. And the comments, why? All the South Africans are like, you know, South Africa is a really good place for like a short stay, for like a vacation, but we're full, thanks. I'm just like, I don't know why we have the sudden trend of Europeans and Americans realizing that Africa is actually it. Like, this is where it's at. I feel like it's been the best kept secret for a couple of years now. You know, we let them believe that America is the greatest country on earth. And now it's just like, damn, you guys realize that it actually isn't. More and more people are realizing that not just South Africa, but Africa as a whole is where it's at. And they're all trying to move here. And I think the saddest part of it all is, as Africans, we are always the first to suffer. Because now housing prices are ridiculously expensive for us. Don't even get me started on Cape Town. Locals can't even afford their own home. They can't afford to stay in their own home because of all the foreigners moving in, all the Americans and Europeans moving into the country. So I do understand the xenophobia, like where the comments are coming from that are just like, please actually stay in your country. I understand those comments completely because it affects the locals in the country.
The best decision I made, moving to Africa. Oh, they live in mud huts in Africa. For the ignorant, do my house look like a mud hut? For all my family who want to invest in Africa, come on over. Best move I made. Separation for me. I don't have to live under Mzungus. Build my own, like Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X said. Tanzania, East Africa, Dar es Salaam. See? This is what life about. In your ancestral land. Y'all better come home to Mother Africa. No racism, no stress. Chilling on my patio, looking at the palm trees, having a nice sip. This is what life about, baby. Let that America go.
You know, I hate that I have to do this video. Must be very honest with you guys. I have to be very honest with you guys. Sometimes I really hate that I moved to a third world country. I really do. I really hate that I left the United States of America to move over here to Kenya, Nairobi. The reason why I hate living abroad is because as soon as you start living abroad, you realize that United States of America has nothing to offer you anymore. Like literally, you get over here and you start to see how rich you really are supposed to be. You really see how they bamboozled us for many years, talking about Africa as a third world country and United States of America is the only that damn country on earth that is glitter and gold. They have lied to us all this time. Come over here, you will see how things really are. Come over here and see how your hair and nails is like $20 as opposed to $200 and $300 and $400. I mean, I see how African women look so beautiful over here because they ain't paying goddamn $10 for a service. United States of America, you can't get all services done for $60 at one time. You gotta pick and choose what service you're gonna get this paycheck and what service you're gonna get 2 paychecks from now. Ooh, baby, when I tell you it took for me to move over here to Africa to see the shit the United States of America is doing, they are literally lying to us. Oh, and by the way, Africa is not the third world country too. They lied to y'all about that as well. Actually, United States of America is a third world country if you want to keep it a bean. And let's not talk about infrastructure because they always want to throw that infrastructure shit out of there. Infrastructure in America depends on the state. Just take a ride through Detroit, Michigan, and you will see how the infrastructure is not infrastructuring. So baby, sometimes I hate that I moved abroad because I'm telling you what, it makes me so mad that I didn't come over here in my 20s, that I had to come over here in my 30s. Like, it really makes me want to give up my blue passport and never come back to the United States of America again. Like, seriously, who would want to purposely live in the USA?
Once Black Americans get to know a South African person or any African person and we speak, they realize that we have more in common than more not common, you know?
Yeah.
We do have love for each other. But sometimes you know how you fight with your brother as a sibling? It's not because you don't like them. It's not because you don't like them.
Yeah.
You know, it's always easier to fight someone who's like you than fight someone who's not like you.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean we hate each other.
Yeah.
There's just too much love. We need to give each other a chance and an opportunity to love each other and embrace.
Word.
And then you'll be surprised how we love each other. I've got a lot of American friends, both black and white.
Yeah.
And I tell them all the time, people come, I will host you, I'll show you around, you'll make your own decision.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, South Africa is a place where everyone, or just Africa is a place where everyone, or the world for that matter. You can live anywhere.
That's facts.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I love it. That was really, really.
What's up, beautiful and amazing people. Guys, in today's video we have a very interesting topic, and that is, why do you think that why is it that when black people, black Americans, you know, when they move back to Africa, they expect so much, but then they end up regretting? That is what you are going to discuss in this video. And guys, the video is a mixture of everything. There are those that are loving it, there are those that are not loving it, there are those that are just there, and we're gonna talk about everything. So there is this particular lady that moved to Africa, and then after staying for some time, you know, she gets to complain. She complains that, oh, you mean water here is unreliable? Oh, you mean electricity here is unreliable? Guys, I need you to understand. I thought that before you even move out or relocate, you first have to do what we call research, because it's research that will help you get to understand where you are going. It will help you get to expect, like, the expectations of where you'll be relocating. And my good people, most people do move to African countries because, okay, most black people, black Americans, okay, those who have been, you know, there in the West, they tend to move here because they know they'll be surrounded by the blacks, and therefore they'll feel at home and everything. They don't really think about how life is in Africa. They only hear that Africa is cheap, Africa is affordable. You know, everybody has their own experiences. But most of the things that these people have complained in this video is the scamming issues, especially those who moved to Nigeria in West Africa. I don't know what you think about that, but you know, Nigerians are in the list of, you know, top scammers. I mean, name the if you actually talk about romance scamming, they are there. If you talk about pet selling scams, they are there, until the world is even fearing them as we speak. So those are some of the experiences that some of them have gone through. Water scarcity or water rationing. You know, if you are privileged to live in a place where water is piped and then being distributed to other people, and let's say that you are densely populated there, I mean, expect water rationing. Like during the weekends, expect no water. But then again, if you have wells in your apartment there, of course you're not going to lack water. But in Nairobi, just be 100% sure that you have to buy water, because there the water piping system has been tampered with, so people don't really get wells. They don't get to do wells, because you know that's a city, and in the city they are congested, so like it's not like a rural area or rural places there. So water rationing is something crazy that, you know, these people did not expect while moving back to Africa. And then again, we have unreliable electricity. Oh man, I wish you guys knew that when it comes to electricity, especially in African countries, you know, this electricity is being supplied by only one company. And I know you all understand about monopoly. Monopoly is whereby it's only one company that, you know, distributes everything, does everything. Not like in these developed countries whereby they have like 10 companies, 12 companies. So when you construct, like all of them will come, give you their quotation, and of course there is a guarantee that electricity will always be reliable, else, you know, the customer will move out. So they're trying to avoid such issues. And here, only one company. I think even in Jamaica it's the same, one company supplying electricity in the entire Caribbean island, which is unfair, of course, because, you know, whether you like it or not, they can do anything with the electricity. You know. Some are complaining about this malaria diseases and all that, but you know, yeah, it's a tropical weather, so you expect some of the things like that, because I understand they do fear that. And remember that that is the message that is known in the West, you know, that in Africa, if you get malaria, you're gonna probably be unalived by the disease. So about the roads also, if there is something that I have noted in these videos from the West, you know, you could actually get out to do your laundry, not do your laundry, go for errands, do stuffs, then come back and just get into the house with your shoe. That will never happen in Africa, by the way, because the moment you just get out of your place, I mean, there is that place that you are going to step on the mud or dirt. So at the end of the day, you wouldn't want to get into the house with your shoes, because it's like taking dirt inside your house, yet the house is clean. So that's the difference. And these are some of the things that these people that are moving back to Africa did not expect. Corruption. I saw one clip. I'll not even attach. I'll not even play here in our clips, because this person was complaining of corruption. Okay, I'm not laughing about it, but anyway, those are some of the things that made some of these people that had opted to relocate, you know, hate it so much. So systems here, they don't really work, you know. But in South Africa, someone said that something like an chemist, you know, buying medicines or tablets or drugs from chemists is not allowed. Like, you have to be prescribed from an hospital. And this person is a rider that, you know, is traveling across Africa, and he really suffered, because he had to come all the way to almost Zambia or Zimbabwe while coming back to Kenya. At least there he found somebody that he knew and got him the drugs. He had an eye infection, and you know, I don't know if it's unfortunate, I don't know, but most African countries, systems don't work. Like, you can walk into a chemist, just buy medicine, drugs without a doctor's prescription. I know it's not it shouldn't be allowed actually. And those are some of the things that these people hated about us in Africa, man. But we have those who loved it. They loved the socialness, they loved the friendliness, they loved how calm people are. They loved, like, you know, when you are around black people, like you feel like you're part of them. And like in the West, whereby there's even this person that was telling us that he really feels bad that Africans are really treated badly when they are in the West. I mean, because for him, he had actually gone through South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe. It's in this clip, I know you watched it. And he was really feeling sorry for us. He had even gone up to Egypt. He was really feeling sorry for us because when we go to the West, to their countries, they don't like us at all. Like, they don't even want us to be near them, or even, you know. And it's unfortunate incidents. And you know, one thing that Africans are known for is friendliness, and they really love foreigners. Or you know, it's really hard for us to hate on somebody or segregate or be racist. You know, we don't do that. We welcome everybody, and I think that's why even most people love coming to Africa to visit, not just to live. But in this video, we are talking about those that have relocated and regretted, like, immediately. So anyway, there was this issue of this particular lady that came to Africa, and then she hated the fact that whenever she goes to the park or any touristic place, and of course, you know, in any touristic place, you have to provide an ID because you have to pay, and of course that will actually reveal your identity and where you come from. And then they find out that she's not from there. She hated the fact that, you know, the prices had to be higher, that just because she's not from there. So I don't know what rules applies there, but yeah, that's one of the things that I noted. Like, for instance, if I go to Masai Mara at the moment, my entrance fee is gonna be lower compared to as a foreigner. So that is what has been happening. So, and this person didn't really like it, and the fact that she was referred to as a foreigner, and yet she's among black people. And for me, I understood that, because of course, if you come to my place or my community and, you know, we've never seen you, you just came in, you'll be referred to as a foreigner at first. But then if you move, if you stay there for like 5 years, 10 years, I mean, it just becomes automatic that you're part of them, because you'll be involved in so many activities that are happening in that particular community. So for her, I think she had only stayed for like 2 to 3 days there, and not yet gotten into the community setup and be accepted. And remember, Africa is extremely cultural, unlike the West. And that is why they always even say that business in Africa takes so much time, unless you are doing it in the city, because in these rural places, you have to understand the cultural aspect first. I'm not going to buy from if I don't know you, like, you know, that those kind of things. So others were relocating, and then they start business, and it goes really bad on them. But here, what I learned is that you have to start a business first, ensure that it runs, be 100% sure about it, and then I'll relocate. I think that's one of the things that I learned from these clips that you just played. So guys, I don't know what you think about this particular topic. Kindly comment down below. What's your thought, everything. I truly appreciate your presence here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.